What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Trucking and Transportation here. I'm sitting out at the Springfield terminal. I do have my Super Trucker headset on just so I could kind of fit in. I went into the terminal last night. Looked like a telemarketing convention going on in there. But one thing I won't do is wear this outside the truck. So if you happen to catch me slipping, $100 on the spot. Anyway, I rode into the terminal last night. Looked like I was coming in here all beat up and tattered with my truck all torn up and everything. I look like, you know, for you old school people, remember Battlestar Galactica, when the old school Battlestar Galactica, like in the 70s, when the ship started returning to the Galactica and they were all shot up and everything. That's how I kind of felt pulling into the terminal last night. So it's going to be good to start getting this truck put back together. But I just wanted to do a quick video on things that I didn't know before I got into trucking, because people are asking me some of these questions every now and then, so I figured I would just do a video on it. So here's some of the things that I didn't know before I got into trucking. So let me turn this.
My name is Paul.
Turn that damn CB off. Anyway, the first thing that I didn't know, that the pace was going to be so fast. You know, for some reason I kind of thought that when you got a load, you do the load, you got finished with the load, you might go back and chill out at a truck stop or whatever till the next day and then you'd get a load. That's definitely not the case. I mean, if you have any time on your clock, they're either sending you a load to pick up immediately or pre-planning you out to pick something up, you know, super early the next day or something like that. So I definitely did not know that the pace was going to be as quick as it was. And even with everything going on now, I haven't felt any difference with the slowdown in freight that I've been hearing about. Just hasn't happened to me. Second thing I didn't realize was there is literally no time off. I mean, I don't know if I was thinking that it was going to be a 5-day work schedule or what. I don't even know what I was thinking, but I certainly didn't think that you would be, I mean, working, you know, I mean, I don't know how much time off I've taken. You know, if I get a 34-hour reset, that's kind of on accident. Rarely get those. Usually, you know, it gets to the point where I'm running on recap, so I might go, you know, 10, 14 days before I really get a good chance to take some time off. And even then, that time off is just in the truck, so that's really not time off. You know, I guess I could get out and do all that stuff, but that doesn't really appeal to me all that much. I'm trying to look at this as a job, not an adventure. So I didn't know that the time off was going to be so sparse. But when I do take time off, you know, I will be taking those, you know, 7-9 days off, things like that. So that's usually after about a month or so of running, even though I've been out a little bit longer during this run. You know, another thing I didn't realize was the distances that you would be traveling. You know, especially as a team, you know, when you're teaming, going through the training and everything, you know, like on a Monday you're in Pennsylvania and on late Wednesday you're in like Oregon. You know, as a solo you might be in California one day and then, you know, a day and a half later you're in like Nebraska somewhere. I just never realized, or even, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but for some reason the distances traveled just seemed to be a lot more than what I had thought before I got into trucking. The next thing, you know, and this is for people that feel like they may not be able to fit into this whole trucking situation, either because of background, whether it be race, education, previous jobs, stuff like that, but this is an incredibly diverse occupation. You know, you have people from Somalia, you know, Lithuania, you pick a country and you got it out here. So you definitely are diverse as far as, you know, who's driving it, you know, occupation as well. You know, a lot of former white collar workers, stuff like that. And that's kind of what scared me. You know, I was kind of coming out of, I guess you would call it, a white collar profession. and really didn't know much about mechanics, or, you know, if a light bulb not a light bulb, if a door handle needed to be changed in my house, or, you know, anything that required a wrench or a screwdriver, something like that, my wife was the one handling that. And it, you know, it was good to see a lot of people that kind of have similar backgrounds that actually made me feel comfortable getting into this, because that was certainly something that kind of intimidated me coming into this. But it's definitely a very diverse group of people. And you know what, a lot of old school truckers, they always talk about the good old days, and you know, I guess you could read between the lines and figure what they think the good old days were. One other thing, and recent events have kind of made me even realize this even more, is that it's very dangerous, you know. I mean, you may not, I don't ever really feel like my life is too much in danger, but you see a lot of stuff out here that reminds you how dangerous this job is. You know, just me driving through St. Louis, you know, about a week ago, car comes flying off the on-ramp, and I don't have no idea what this car was thinking, because certainly had time to merge, but just came right off the on-ramp, hit me in the side of my truck, and you know, that could have gone, you know, a number of different directions. Had I overreacted, I could have caused a chain reaction. So just had no idea that it was as dangerous as it was. So that's one thing. You know, you start thinking about driving trucks, and even before I even knew what backing was, you know, I always, as soon as I thought about becoming a truck driver, the first thing I thought about was, how do they back these trucks up and everything? And so you always think that that's going to be the hardest part of this profession and stuff like that. But really, what makes life hard isn't the backing, it's the parking. I didn't realize that the parking situation was going to be as impactful as it is on this profession. I mean, that is the one thing that is constantly on your mind, is where are you going to park? Where are you going to shut down? And it's a shame, you know, once you start driving around America, I mean, you really realize that there ain't really shit out here. I mean, between cities, all you got is open space. So, you know, I just don't understand why there can't be even more, you know, some of this land, I'm sure, is not just privately owned. So I'm just not sure why the parking situation is the way it is. But that is the thing I think that is the hardest part about this job. And listen, the one thing, the major thing that I did not realize about this job before getting into it was this.
Oh, shit, that's just too easy. No, that shit is too easy. Too easy. No. That shit is too easy, buddy. I'm through. I don't play no more. We won't play no more.
The main thing I didn't realize before I got into this job was that this job is too damn easy. Listen, if you're afraid to come out here because of one reason or another, I mean, it's a dangerous job, give it that. But as far as jobs go, listen, I thought about this, and going back to being 15 years old, working at Burger King, all this stuff, man, this job is the easiest job by far. It's not even close to being near any of the other jobs. This is by far the easiest job I've ever had in my life. It is easier doing this job than it is working an 8-hour shift at McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, wherever you work. This job is a whole lot easier than that. So if you're feeling intimidated by getting into this profession because you think it might be too hard, or you might not get it or something like that, bring your ass on into this profession. Trust me. Anyway, it looks like my dispatcher is messaging me. Let me check up on this and see what's going on. If you happen to be at the Springfield terminal, it is Friday, April 17th, and you see me walking around, holler at your boy. I'll check you out.